the world following the death of Nigeria's former president, Muhammadu Buhari, in a hospital in London. Buhari will be buried under Islamic rites. And to discuss this further, we are now joined on the line by Douglas Ogbankwa from the National Movement for the Actualisation of Good Governance. Douglas, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update, and condolences to you and the Nigerian people.
Yes, actually a sad day for Nigeria. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Africa.
Now, tell us more about the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. Where does he come from before becoming Nigeria's number one?
Okay, well, former President Muhammadu Buhari has been part of the checkered history of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think at the age of mid-20s, became the youngest ever Minister of Petroleum in Nigerian history in 1978. 1976, when President Lulu Gaboo became the head of state following the quelling of an aborted coup. From there, he has been part of the history of this country, and he has played leading roles in Nigerian history. On the 31st of December 1983, there was a coup in which General Sani Abacha, another of Nigeria's former head of state, is eventually dead, announced the coup. And Muhammadu Buhari was announced as Nigeria's head of state, overturning the former president Shehu Shagari. His friend, Ibrahim Babangida, another military head of state, was the chief of army staff when Buhari took over as head of state, military head of state. On the 27th of August 1985, Ibrahim Babangida overthrew Muhammadu Buhari, and he ended up in detention in prison. And after some few years, he was released. When Sani Abacha became head of state on the 17th of November 1993, through a coup, another coup, overthrowing the then Chief Ernest Shonekan, head of the then national government, following the annulment of the June 12 presidential election, won by Moshood Abiola, MK Abiola. But Abacha made Buhari the chairman of the Petroleum Special Trust Fund, which was a fund that was brought in to use the surplus from the increment of fuel for infrastructural development in Nigeria. So he was in the cooler for some time until he started contesting elections. He contested for Nigerian elections severally under the APP, All Progressives Party, the ANPP, All Nigerian Progressive Party. He also contested under the CPC, Congress of Progressive Change. And luckily for him, he won the elections in 2015. And he became president on the 29th of May 2015, following his coalition with the then Tinubu, then led East National Congress of Nigeria to form the All Progressives Congress, which is the current ruling party in Nigeria. So Muhammadu Buhari has been part of Nigerian history for a long time, and his death is, would I say, a loss to the country, one way or the other.
Now, let's talk about, his health in terms of the number of times that he spent long periods of time in London for medical reasons. When he became president of Nigeria, was he already ill, or was it something that came up during his presidency?
Well, yes, if you notice, he died in his 70s. And, at that age, usually we have some kind of ailment which will be associated with your age. So he was not very sick, but at least every human being felt sick. But the height of his sicknesses came during his reign as president, and severally, like you rightly stated, he was in London for treatment, over different ailments. And managed as a country for 8 years. And it would be too hard for us to say that it did not affect his health. It actually affected his health. And so now his health did not affect the running of the country. It actually affected the running of the country. And then, it was something that we as the people, we actually wished him to be more healthy while he was head of state, President Barra, but that was how it was, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So when he became president during the campaign, period, something that made him appealing to the citizens of Nigeria was his anti-corruption, ethics. What else was there that appealed to the people? And just touch also on, the issues then that came with his presidency in terms of, the spreading of violence. And after taking over from former President Goodluck Jonathan, has this been reversed, or what we see of Nigeria today is a continued insurgence of a continued disruption and security issues in different parts of the country?
Very well. That was the law of former President Muhammadu Buhari's reign. There was an increase in insurgency by persons who we know are not Nigerians, people who came from outside the country because they belong to a particular tribe, which was of the northern extraction. And it's just now that such violence is being curtailed one way or the other by the current administration. It was a very, very, very bad moment for this country. Traveling by road was like a death sentence because you were not sure you were going to come back alive. It was something that, we, as the people, we felt betrayed because a lot of people actually had high hopes when President Muhammadu Buhari took over power, like you rightly stated, coming from his appeasement, we actually wanted a scenario. A lot of us believe that this country is a great country. It's perhaps the greatest black nation on earth. But we have been quite unlucky sometimes with leadership.
Yeah, and his legacy. We have run out of time, Douglas, and just very quickly in wrapping up, talk to us about his legacy.
Muhammadu Buhari will be remembered for being a president who was able to remove the sitting president. It's actually something that is, apart from South Africa and Zambia, Ghana, is something that hardly happens in Africa, having a presidential candidate remove the sitting president. And it was very fair to him. He was able to keep the Naira stable for a long time. And the fuel prices were quite low. Nigerians were able to afford fuel at a lower price and then buy forex at a lower rate.
Well, Douglas, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update. We'll leave it there for today. That was Douglas Ogbankwa from the National Movement for the Actualisation of Good Governance joining us on the line.
Africa Update with Lulu Gaboo, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time.